Aaron Rodgers. He's back in the news today, Rob, because he's ramped it up in practice with the Jets. Yes, he's practiced. Remember, he joined practice less than 3 full months after his Achilles surgery. And now he is ramping it up. He's doing 7-on-7s. And today, he actually, for some reason, he's running scout team defense in the Jets practice and leaped up in the air and caught an interception. And everybody's raving about that. Is that video out there? Because I haven't seen the video. I've just heard about it and read about it. But Brandon, let us know if that video is out there. I would like to see it. But yeah, so Rodgers, remember, Rob, he he can be activated from the injured list next week. All right. So if he's not activated at the end of next week, that's a 21-day window, then he won't be able to play. It'll be Wednesday. Next Wednesday, he'd have to be activated if he wanted to return this season. And that's his goal, he says. Rob, look, I'll start by saying this. It's impressive. I don't think he should play this year. I think that's ridiculous and lunacy, but it is impressive that he is out there practicing and has worked hard enough to get his body ready to be able to even practice basically 3.5 months or like I said, less than 3 months as far as when he started after that surgery. So it's quite an impressive feat. That said, I still don't think it's wise for him to be trying to come back and play in actual games this year. Where you at, Rob?
It's lunacy. And this is, again, I brought up the Chargers, why certain teams don't win, and this is another team, and why they don't win, because they do dumb stuff. I don't care. If you're the ownership, front office, Aaron Gray, get yourself in shape. You want to bust your butt, whatever. But you're not playing this year, okay? Because can you imagine, Chris, him getting hurt in the last game of the year in a meaningless game, and then next year's wiped out? It makes no sense. Yep. What do you gain from it? You don't gain anything. Practice, you want to grab an interception and play scout team deep, whatever you want to do to entertain yourself. You're not playing against anybody. Nobody's trying to hit you, Chris. Stop. That's not football. Really? No one out. Do you think anybody's out there trying to hurt Aaron Rodgers?
No.
Come on.
No, of course not.
They might as well have on mittens, Chris. Nobody's trying to touch Aaron Rodgers. And for the Jets ownership to go along with this and coaching staff, no. Why can't they? He's been there, Chris, long enough for a cup of coffee and a sweet roll, and they're going to let him dictate everything. I'd say, Aaron, do you know the history of this franchise? Do you know all the bad stuff that's happened here? Really? The last time we won a Super Bowl was 1969. Right? 1969.
He wasn't even born.
Dude.
Think about that. He wasn't even born.
We can't have something happen to you again. You're going to be 40. Can you stop? Just for 1 minute. Stop and think about the organization, what we put on the line, what we hope, to do next year, and we got the defense, and if we could get you back healthy and whatever. But my God, do we want to kill another full season, Chris? If he gets hurt?
Don't you think he's on a crusade against conventional medicine?
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Because it can't be anything else. Nothing else makes sense. I think you're right.
Yeah, and again, Rob, this is impressive. This is impressive enough.
It's only impressive until he goes out there and gets hurt.
Right. He doesn't need to. Now, yeah, would it take his feet up a notch if he actually played in an NFL game? Absolutely. It would be even more impressive. But still, this is impressive enough for you to say laying in a dark room or whatever the heck he did that was unconventional to help his Achilles heal. This is enough for you to get a few props from that. But, Rob, one thing that you always must do in life, risk versus reward, right? Sure, you can say to yourself, I probably won't get hurt. But is it worth going out there and playing a meaningless game for the New York Jets this year? Is it worth the risk that you do get hurt, Rob? No, of course not.
What's the reward?
The only reward can be like we said. I mean, I guess he gets to toot his own horn and feel like he's smarter than everybody that's a regular doctor, right? I mean, I'm sorry if that's all he's playing for and doing it for, then that's sad. For a guy that's one of the greatest NFL quarterbacks in the history of the sport, for a guy that's won a Super Bowl, for a guy that's won 4 MVPs, if you need that for validation, if you need that for an ego boost, come on, man. You better than that.
Right. And that's what it feels like, because nothing else makes sense to say, let me just get completely healthy. I'm going to be 40 next year. What are we doing?
40 this. Well, he turned 40. Oh, no, he's 40 now.
Did he turn 40?
He turned 40 on December 2nd.
Okay, so he's 40 years old. Why? This is not, he's coming back to play the last game of the year, and if they win it, they're going to the Super Bowl. Okay.
Right.
Okay. I'll buy that.
We get that.
Anything else, I'm not buying. And I think it's typical, though, of the Jets. It just is, Chris. I grew up with that team. I did. I grew up with that team. That was my team growing up. If I had to say to you I had 3 teams as a kid growing up, it was the Mets, the Jets, and the Islanders. The Knicks were automatic. But I'm talking about, picking a team.
You should have picked the Yankees and the Giants.
I know, so I'm just telling you. I grew up in Queens, so the Jets and Mets played in Queens. You know what I mean? And the Islanders played on Long Island.
Right.
So those were really my teams. Knicks, everybody was a Knicks fan. We didn't have to pick. But my point is that this is what they do. They do the wrong thing. They do the wrong thing over and over.
That's the other part of this story, Rob. We get you got to, you treat you respect Aaron Rodgers. We get that he's the greatest player the franchise has ever had in their uniform, right? But have a little bit of pride. Rob, they have let him do everything. The offensive coordinator is there because of him.
Who was the backup quarterback they finally had to release? I guess he couldn't save
Tim Boyle.
Couldn't save his job anymore.
Right. I mean, but he's there because of Aaron. Randall Cobb.
At this
Alan
point,
Lazard.
I'd rather have
Lazard is a good, decent receiver. I mean, he's not having much of a year this year, but he's been decent at least. But still, him and Randall Cobb are there because of Aaron Rodgers.
What's the difference? Corn on the cob or Randall Cobb this year, Chris? There's no difference.
Didn't he have a touchdown?
Yeah,
was it last week? Yeah. But you're right though. I mean, Rob, and I get it. Bring a guy in, you want to make him feel comfortable, fine. But Rob, he's running the franchise. We saw the article came out a week or two ago, right? That Saleh, Hackett, and Joe Douglas, the GM, Robert Saleh, the head coach, are safe. Their jobs are safe because of Aaron Rodgers. And at some point, you've just got to, you got to draw a line. And the line should be, at the very least, you're not playing this season. Because, Rob, this is great because you could get a jump start on next season, right? This is great in that, man, get ready for next year. You can see the team. You can watch the team. You can see where you think we're ready, where you think we're not, what improvements, changes we need to make for us to really make a run at the Super Bowl next year. I don't think they will, but, you're there. You can give it a shot because you're going to be back way early. You can work with the receivers in the offseason. I mean, this really helps us that you got in such great shape so quickly. But hold your horses. And Rob, this is what I not fear, but there's a big part of me that thinks this might happen. And, I picked the Jets to make the playoffs before Rodgers got hurt. So I'd like to see the Jets have a little success. And obviously you would.
I said that they could wind up being the Mets, because, Chris, and I said it only because they never fixed the offensive line, and you have an older quarterback, And did I know it was going to happen in 4 snaps? No. Like the Mets signing old pitchers, you know what I mean? And they were hurt all year. Like that's the danger in doing that. That's all. There's a danger to it.
Rob, I think there's a good chance, just because he's 40. Just because he'll be 2 years removed from playing. He'll be 3 years removed from playing, Aaron Rodgers level football. Rob, he could come back next year and be pretty bad.
Oh, there's no doubt
mediocre.
about that. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
there's
that's
no guarantee that you're going to return
thing.
right. Oh yeah.
And so I don't know. It's been unfortunately bad so far since he got here because of the injury. And there's probably a better than 50% chance, Rob, that he is mediocre. Now, hopefully not. But the Jets just got to put their foot down, no pun intended, and say, no, it's great what you've done, but you're not playing. And, Rob, I think that is going to be the case. And I think Rodgers understands that. But I think, he's having fun with people, and he also is trying to prove a point. And good for you. You've proved it. Now relax and wait till next year. All right.